Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whenever you are. Hello. Thank you for watching my videos. It's Mike. It's January 3rd, 2009. Now, I just wanted to do a little piece here, essentially about this whole situation in Gaza. Now, I'm not going to judge anyone, and in fact, any comments that may be placed upon my video, I will more than likely ignore. So please don't take offense. I don't want to get involved in any political stuff. This is certainly not religious. I just want to point a few things out. Now, as some of you may know, I actually lived in Israel. I had the pleasure of living there for just over three and a half years for the work that I do. I've also lived all over the world, and I've worked all over the world. And I've learned something in my time that is quite important. Most real people, the people that live in houses and go to work and raise children and send their children to school, want pretty much the same thing wherever they are in the world. They just want to get on with it. And the same holds true in Israel. Whether you're Jewish, whether you're a Muslim, whether you're Christian. The whole point is you just want to get on with it. Live your life, look after your family, look after your children, and hopefully make the world slightly better for your children. Now, one thing that's happened is the Israeli government has decided that, for whatever reason, to control terrorism and to improve the safety and security of their people, that they're going to blockade, they decided they were going to blockade Gaza. Because, of course, the duly elected government of the Palestinian people within Gaza is Hamas. And one of the stated goals of Hamas is and always has been the destruction of Israel. Okay, it's not exactly that, but it's close enough for YouTube. However, having lived in Israel, one of the things that struck me was that, I worked in Tel Aviv, and every weekend, near enough, for about a year, I went out to Jerusalem. I think it was every Saturday I went out to Jerusalem. And I used to sit at this little coffee bar above the western gate, can't remember what it's called anymore, Damascus Gate of Jerusalem. It was a really nice coffee shop, Turkish coffee, very strong, and I would sit there for a couple of hours, drink some coffee, have a couple of beers, drink some more coffee, and I would chat with everyone that would come along. Just say hello, how's it going, etc., and find out what was happening. And regardless of who I spoke to, they all pretty much said the same sort of thing. They just wanted to get on with their lives. They had this or they had that. They were going to a wedding. They were going to, they were going to school, starting school soon, all this kind of stuff. And of course, the Israeli children, the Jewish people, would be very concerned about, their son was going into the army, their daughter was going into, whatever the daughter was doing as part of the military training. They were very concerned about, what they'd be getting up to, whether they'd be assigned to the north of the country or the south of the country. But in the end, it pretty much was always the same sort of thing, that really they just want to get on with their lives, somehow make life better for themselves and for their children. And the same held true for Palestinians. What the Israelis are currently doing, now, when I say Israelis, I mean the Israeli government, not the Israeli people. What the Israeli government is doing right now is just a bit over the top. And I'm kind of upset about it. So I just want people to think about this. Now, there is one thing you must be aware of. And you'll hear lies about this, but Most Palestinians do not have a really strict religious view. Okay? They're like anywhere. They're just normal people. Now, of course, like anywhere, there are, of course, extremists. You can have extremist, people of Christian belief, for instance. The real Bible bashers and go out and whatever they do. Same thing happens with every religion. Now, Palestinians have been bundled together as this group of Muslims. But there's something you should be aware of. A certain percentage of Palestinians are actually Christian. They're not all Muslims. And they certainly aren't all die-hard let's destroy Israel Muslims. So people start thinking a little more, okay? This isn't about Jewish state against Muslim extremists or Islamic extremists. This is about the Israeli government wanting to deal in some sort of way with what they consider to be interlopers upon their land. And if you look at history, before the beginning of this century, Jews and the Arabs, Christian and Islamic, shared the land of Israel. And it's only the extremist populations that are causing the problems. Everyone out there, peace, love, understanding will go a whole hell of a long way to sorting out this mess. And it's not going to get sorted out very quickly. My heart goes out to Palestinians living in Gaza who have been affected by this, directly or indirectly. And of course my heart does go out to any Israelis who are affected by this as well. I have friends in Israel that I am worried about. But I know it isn't the Israeli people. It isn't the Palestinian people. It's the Israeli government that should be yelled at here. Okay, folks. Take it easy.